Hello and welcome. Campbell here with Lorenzo. You have arrived at our local site. We've set this up just as a bit of a hub, a place where people can come and discuss their life and what's going on and where they want to go, where they want to be. And we're going to be putting up content to help you on your journey. There'll be lots of free content, and there's also going to be a paid section where we get deeper into things. We're going to do some lives and Zooms that you can be involved with. You'll find all the details around here somewhere. So, how are you going, Lorenzo?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We've decided to call it Autodidactic Alliance or Auto Alliance for short, because we figured alliance, allies, it's who you connect with, it's who you ally yourself with. It's what you do in relation to what you want to make in life. We've decided, Campbell and I, that we only want to work closer with people that have allied themselves to the actions of the truth to make their lives better. And we're going to give people the opportunity to interact, as Campbell mentioned, with lives, which will be part of the paid wall behind that. Won't be expensive, by the way. The details will be below by the time this comes out. And what we're looking to do is to, block the people that are looky-loos or just there to bother us, as you've noticed from some of the lives that we've done, and allow us to get deeper. And with locals, by the way, there's no censorship, so we can swear if we want, we can say what we want, we can point a few fingers if we feel like, and we can talk about whatever is sitting with us in a way that we couldn't do on YouTube, although we are going to do some freebies still on YouTube to bring people over and to give people the opportunity to still see and share and be. And, this way they can support us as they support themselves. And we're happy to bring this out and make it as strong as we possibly can.
Like Lorenzo said, we want to, work with people that are serious. We hear lots of people saying they want change and they want a better life and all this, but we don't see a lot of action going on. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of people obviously coming in with very interesting comments on our lives and things. So that's basically why we set this up, so we can have a bit more of a space with people that are interested in actually moving forward. There's all this talk about creating the new world and all this blah blah blah, but what it comes down to is it's up to us. We need to do something. If you want something to change, then you need to change what you're doing. And of course, the world seems like it's going crazy at the moment. There's all this stuff, UFOs and USOs and Trump and Elon Musk and space travel and new economies and blah, blah, blah. But, the way that, well, I see it at least, it's just more of the same. It's just more of the same. It's just the media, the same stuff we've been fed for decades now, and it's just really trying to put us in a place where we feel like we can't do much, right? And so we watch the world and we hope that a new leader emerges to show us the way. But the truth is, the new leaders are already here, right? That's us. And of course, if you're looking for a leader, then you're kind of putting your hand up and saying, I'm a follower. And followers aren't the people who change the world. So that's one of the main reasons we're starting this is action, right? Let's actually get something done rather than sitting around and contemplating and talking and saying we want this, but then not doing anything about it.
Yeah, take a look in the mirror. I've noticed, I haven't been here for thousands of years, but I've been here long enough to notice they've been talking about aliens and the new economy and the collapse and the new leaders and the ascensions since I was a little boy. From Sai Baba to Kennedy to take your pick for these new great leaders that were supposed to come and help the world. These great new monetary systems, these great new inventions, ideas, space this, car that, development this, and nothing's ever really changed, right? Everyone's still a slave to the system as they're choosing to be, and the only way you can change is to tame yourself. And I really do find it funny, and I'm going to talk about this just a little bit, is the word fault really seems to bother a lot of people. I mean, we always get comments that I don't want to call it fault, I want to call it learning experience, and there's no such thing as fault. It's more like, let's look on the good side. And what's the big deal for people to see that we all make mistakes, right? We all fall down. We all feel guilt or blame or shame for something we've done. We've all cut ourselves or broken a bone or whatever, or chosen the wrong job or the wrong relationship or the wrong wine with dinner that didn't work out. Whatever. We've all made silly mistakes and we've all done those choices by ourselves. So of course it's your fault in that it's your responsibility for choice. So we wish to move away from semantics, which I think seems to bother people. Let's not call it this, or I agree a little bit. And it's really not about any of that. We're looking at practical allies, practical solutions, practical ways you can help yourself to a practical better life. And that comes with the responsibility of doing it all for yourself, with yourself, even though there's going to be a whole bunch of us together doing it. We're not saying we don't want a community. We're going to have a festival in the summer, at least one Freedom Now festival. We'll leave the links below. We'll discuss it more as it becomes closer, to the summer in July when we're going to have it. But really, at the very bottom of this, even by having to pay to subscribe to what we're sharing, it will allow you to feel, that you're contributing some currency, some energy, something to the middle. And by giving it value, you'll receive value, and that will allow us to continue to share and to be more real with those that want us to be a little bit harder than we can be on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, faults, are the way forward as far as I'm concerned. Like, you can't fix a problem unless you know there's a problem. And not being willing to admit that we are the problem, that we are the center of our own universe and our world is all that does is stop us moving forward, stop us making any change at all. As we've mentioned, that's the idea behind this community is, we want to talk to people who are serious and we want to create a community where we get into real discussion and where we can look at ourselves, right? I've said it many times. If you want to point the finger at the world and the problems, go find a mirror because ultimately it's us that's creating the world and it's not what's going on outside of us. It's more how we see it, how we perceive it, because all this stuff's going on, but there's still a million different perspectives on it. Some people think it Trump's God, and some people think he's the devil, and same with Elon and all this stuff and the money and the UFOs that are still coming since the 40s, but never seem to arrive. I don't know what's going on with their spaceships, but I think they're having some problems. They don't be able to seem to get here, right? So it's just more of the same, guys. It's more of the same, just more of it, right? They're just starting to really push this agenda. But how real is it and how much does it really matter? Like how much does it matter on your personal life if you unless you're going to take action, then nothing's changed, right? We're just sitting around listening to more people outside of us, the outside world telling us what reality is, how it's going to work, how they're going to save us. But like Lorenzo said, it never arrives. They've been doing this for decades, for at least my whole life, right? So is the savior coming or is the savior already here? Is it us? Is this all just the universe telling us, hey, maybe it's time that you stopped looking for leadership, right? Maybe it's time you took the reins, right? Became the captain of your own ship and started to steer a different course because in my opinion, that's the only place that change lives is when we take control and stop letting people lead us.
History doesn't matter, time doesn't matter. They've been at war since I've been a little baby, from what I recall. So this World War III is coming. I mean, the war is already here. It's been a non-stop war since I've been alive. It's been a non-stop fiat currency fiasco since I've been here. Gold in your pockets isn't going to save you. Diamonds up your arse isn't going to save you. Platinum down your pants that you're waiting for, to cash in when, none of this is going to save you. You are the savior. You are already here as you see fit that you're going to be here. And for me, that's the best advice I could give myself because I'm only ever talking to myself. It's that, again, you don't got to wait for anybody. You don't got to put your hand up. You don't got to be led anywhere. And I'm not saying there's not help, and I'm not saying there's not leaders, and I'm not saying there's not better monetary systems and legal systems and healthier systems and better ways. And there's nothing but there's bazillions of better options for the life that most people are living these days, or what gets offered to us. Probably hundreds of bazillions, and I don't even know how big it is, but it really isn't the point. There is only one point for all of us, and that point is you.
It is. It is. So point the finger back, right? We are the point, like we are the creation point, and all this stuff outside is really just to sway our opinions and also just to keep us stuck, right? Like that's why there's so much of it at the moment, so much, propaganda and media stuff, and this is happening and blah 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 blah, and of course the internet, right? It's all over the place, and all these TikTok videos that are coming out. Does it really matter? How long have you been watching this stuff and what's changed? Has anything changed? as far as, we can tell from doing lives and videos. I mean, and we've been going, what, probably 3 years or more now. Nothing's changed. Everyone's, talking about what they want, and they want the new earth, they want things to change, blah, blah, blah. And then they spend their time focusing on what the outside world's telling them. But, the problem with waiting for a savior is, what if they don't turn up?
Yeah.
What are you going to be on your deathbed, right? In your 80s or 90s going, oh, the savior will be here soon. I mean, it's not going to change anything. And again, the reason is because you're already here. You're here to save yourself, just as we all are. And in a community where we can all share ideas and talk about real things, then we can move down that track faster and actually start supporting what we want rather than spending our times looking into the latest conspiracy and the latest this and putting our hopes and dreams into someone doing something, someone outside of us, when we can do it. We can do it ourselves. All it takes is a decision and action, doing something different.
Maybe that next step that everyone's looking for is one we have to make for ourselves. Trump's not going to give you a step. Musk isn't going to give you a step. $1 million in the bank isn't going to give you a step. It may buy you fancy, fuzzy slippers to walk those steps in, right? Or it may buy you a nice silk suit to walk those steps in. Or you might have someone with a funny wig like Trump sitting in the office telling you it's okay to take that step so that you're waiting for that. But it's not the point. The point is for a real step, that foot that goes down on the next step is your foot. It's not my foot. It's not Campbell's foot. It's not Trump's foot. That foot that takes the step after that is not even your wife's foot if you're married, or your husband's foot or your child. That foot taking that next step is your foot. And if it's a step you're unknown about or is an unknown for you right now, maybe it's because you haven't shown the step to yourself, because that next step is something, in my opinion, you have to create for yourself. And you might not even see the next step until your foot's already on its way. So I strongly feel you got to start the journey. So many people put their hands up when Campbell mentioned free airline tickets and missed the point by light years and millions of years and 200,000 lives like there's someone giving them something, which wasn't the point. The point is he decided to make a journey, and then that journey showed him how he could make that journey, and your journey will be different because you're different. And so when you decide to make the journey, your steps will come. And that's what we mean by allies and alliance, to connect ourselves to our own journeys. We're going to share that, and we're welcoming everyone and all intelligent people and intelligent contributions and intelligent participations to come and join us. And yeah, so leave some suggestions if you can here below this video. I'm thinking right now, and I hope it's all right with Campbell, that maybe we'll release it on YouTube and on our Auto Alliance so people can see what we're going to be about, because this is going to be a free one anyways, to help gather the community. And, we're going to do a new live soon. And yeah, well, I'm looking forward to intelligently participating with all the lovely people who wish to join us.
Yes, so if you're on YouTube, we'll leave the link to our locals below and come across. And like we said, there's going to be a free section where there'll be free stuff you can get into. And if you want to go deeper, then there will be a paid section. But it's not going to be expensive. It'll be very affordable. And, the question really is, are you serious? Are you actually serious about making a change? Because everyone, says they're serious and says they want this and blah, blah, blah. But, as I've said, it takes action. We need to actually do something. And this is what we've both done. This is how I was able to travel and for free, which everyone linked onto. Oh my gosh, free plane tickets, free plane tickets. But like Lorenzo said, that's not the point. It's not like they were free. It's not like they just sort of conjured out of nothing and into my hand. It was me putting out an intention, putting out the right energy, and the universe, or whatever you want to call it, responding. And this is where it all starts. We need to decide what we want, what we're going to do to get it, and stick with that, and not let the outside world, take our attention right away from what we want to create. Because this is what's happening. Everyone's like, yes, yes, writing on their goals. I want to do this. I want to start a community. I want to save the world. Well, you can't save the world unless you save yourself first. And that's just the cold, hard truth of what I've discovered in my life. And we've all been through, right? Trials and tribulations and all this stuff. And that's not going to stop. Life is not going to get easy. You're not going to be sitting at home and everything's going to be perfect because that's not life. But you can move forward towards a much better existence, right? You can move more into what you want to create. And that's what this community is all about. Less talk and more doing, right? Like let's get some
Mhm.
concepts out there. Let's put them into action and then see what happens. Because one thing that I know is just waiting for the world to change and waiting for someone to save you, it's nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. Like especially in the last 4 years since the whole jabby jab thing, right? Like everyone's suddenly awake. What does that even mean? Like, I don't even think I'm awake, right? I mean, I might be waking up, I might be in the process, but there is no end game here. There is no finish line. It's just expansion and growth. So, if this is the kind of thing that you're interested in, if you're serious about making a change, making a difference, then please come across and join us on Locals. And if you're watching this on Locals, then you'll find links below. Sign up, join us, and become part of a community that actually does something, because the time for sitting back and just, dreaming, just wishing, just wanting, I mean, that's over because clearly it doesn't work.
Yeah. There is no world, I'll say, maybe with the chance of offending some people wearing green underwear, you can't save the world. The world doesn't need your help to save itself. The world is fine. But what does need saving is you from yourself, usually. Generally, we need to save ourselves from ourselves and our poor choices and the faults we've made and all those other things. So, yes, save yourself from yourself. And we'd be delighted to, keep the change, as they say. Change, change, keep the change, and we'll keep moving forward together.
Yep, that's the one, right? And if you don't step in your own direction, you might with your feet, you might just end up footing the bill, right? Because this is the thing, it's all going to come back to you anyway.
Mm,
Like if you follow someone and you make the wrong decisions again, the world doesn't pay for that. You
no,
do. It's your
yeah,
life and your experience. It all comes back to you. And when we get right down to it, can we even prove that anything outside of us even exists? We can't, right? We've only got our own lives, our own thoughts, our own experiences, and that's great, right? And problems are great, and mistakes are great, or mistakes, right? Because without that, how do we learn? How do we go forward? How do we get a different perspective? So the world they say is changing. I would say not much. Seems to be the same old story, just playing, at a louder
mm,
volume. But like we said, you can change. And when you change, everything in your life and your experience will change as well. But you have to do something, guys. So if you're over the wishing and the wanting and the why me and poor little me kind of stuff, then please, yeah, come and join us and let's get a good conversation going. Let's help each other. Let's actually start doing something. Let's actually start creating this new world that everyone keeps talking about. Let's actually do something, right? Make it so, as they say in Star
make
Trek.
it so. Yeah, it's okay to feel foolish. It's okay to feel shame. It's okay to feel guilt. It's okay to feel the blame in that you blame yourself for the problems in your life because as Campbell said, if the bad things are your fault, then the good things can be too. And once you take the responsibility for all the stinky things you've helped create or allowed, if you like, you didn't do it directly, but you've allowed to create. And I don't want to hear about starving children and any wars going on. The outside is reflecting the inside. So all of us probably have stinky things going on inside and wars going on inside. And, to answer some questions I've had over the last little while from the videos, that's how you change the outside world by ending the wars inside yourself, by ending the poverty inside yourself, by ending the bad things happening, let's say to children, because maybe you did bad things to your own inner child. Let's say that could be a reflection of that, if you like, is one example of how that could be looked at. You could have and interfered if we're talking about, the old sexy things people talk about with yourself and your own sexual growth when you were of that age by being however you were. Like you really got to look at these dirty, hidden, unwashed underwear, skeletal, closetal things that nobody really wants to look at. Then they've all thrown away. Let's not think about that anymore. That happened when I was, 12, and we'll forget about that. But though that's where your gold lays and lies is by really unpacking most horrible things you can imagine that you participated in willingly or by quietly allowing, which is even worse. And most people allow these things to happen by not fighting it. And from that part, you will be amazed at the power you pick up by accepting how horrible you've been, because the other side of that is how fantastic you are.
Mm. Yep. Things don't have to happen to you. They can actually happen for you. We can use all this stuff to actually move forward, right? Rather than thinking the world is, oh my God, it's a prison planet. We're slaves. Look what they're doing to us. Oh my God. Like the inner world is just a reflection of the outer world. And it's interesting that the more confusion and chaos goes on outside, the more seems to be going on inside people. And that kind of proves the point to me that that's why they do this. The outside world, who are they anyway, right? It's just a story. It's just a play. The whole world is a stage, and everyone on it is an actor. So what if it is just all for you? And we're missing the point and thinking, oh my God, we don't have any control, and it's the world. But if it's all for you, then it's all lessons to help you grow and help you get to a better place. And I think that's a much better way to focus our attention is how do we use this to go forward and to make our lives better rather than being a victim, which is what we're doing if we're looking at the outside world and commenting on it. If we're just looking at the world, because I've been hearing the news lately. I'm staying with my parents for a little while, and oh my God, there's no good news. They never tell you good news. It's just be scared about this, be fearful of this. Oh my God. Oh, but don't worry, here's a savior for you. Oh, but the other side think he's the devil and rah 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 rah. It's all minutia, guys. It's just all crap, right? It's all for us. It's just all to give us a better perspective. And if we throw that away, then we just end up going around in circles. And people do this for decades. So if that's how you feel, like you just going around in circles, you never seem to be able to create change or get something different, then like we said, join the community. Let's open a discussion and let's actually do something practical that actually does change things rather than commenting on the world around us.
Yeah, telling us why you can't, and by telling us why you can't, you tell yourself basically, because you're only talking to yourself, why you can't. So I'm gonna say maybe we'll call this one "Is the Savior Coming?" because it's a good title. And at the end of this chat, we'll say yes. Look in the mirror and you'll see the Savior's already here. You just have to allow the actions that you've been telling yourself your whole life to come out and be part of your everyday and to make those next steps for yourself.
Definitely, definitely. And if you're getting triggered, then that's a good thing because, that's telling you that there's something inside that wants to be changed, you know? And like I said, for things to change, things have to change, guys. It's us. So, thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, share this, share this video around, and go down below and check out the links. Come and join us on Locals. Like we said, there's a free section, but if you want to get deeper and get into, we'll do some lives and some Zooms and things, then there will be a paywall that you can get some more information on, some more practical information where we'll get deep. Like Lorenzo said, we can say whatever we want, right? Because we won't be censored by the poo tube, which will be nice. So if you're real, if you really are real about wanting something different, then we'd love to see you there. If you just want to come and complain a bit more, then that kind of attitude, that kind of behavior, it's not going to be accepted in our new community because that's not what it's about. That you can go anywhere if you want to, join the complainers. And yes, it might feel comfortable, right? With other people sitting around you. Oh, look, we're all complaining about the same thing. Woohoo! But it's not going to change anything at all, right? You're just going to end up with a bigger crowd around you that, is singing the same song. But in 10 years, if you do nothing, you're going to be in the same spot. And isn't that the scariest thing? Waking up in 10 years' time and going, oh my God, nothing's changed, right? All I did was look outside and comment on what's going on, and oh my God, the aliens are still coming. They're still going to change the money system. The savior's still coming. Like we said, guys, the savior's already here. It's you. We're here to save ourselves. So come and join us. We're looking for real people who are serious, who want to take a look at themselves, see that everything is their fault, which, guys, again, is the good news. right? If it's the outside world's fault, you can't change it, right? And I think reality and life in the last, well, forever, right? But especially the last 4 or 5 years has shown us that. Like there's all this talk, oh, we want this, but nothing's changed because people are just commenting, they're not doing. So come and join us. Let's open a conversation. Let's be real. Let's talk to like-minded people. Let's, talk about solutions. Let's focus on the goal that we want rather than what we don't want, align our energy and our frequency and let's just start doing this, right? Like there's no better time than now to start. And if you don't start today, if you put it off till tomorrow, well, the bad news is tomorrow never comes. So you could be in the same position in 10, 20 years, still waiting for tomorrow to come before you realize it never comes. Now is all there is. So now is the point of change. Now is the time to do something different.
All right. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm inspired. I hope you are too. Come join us. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Links below, guys. Have a great day.